Welcome everyone, Simon here from the Wales of Wall Street. We are going into EGLD today, EGLD on the exchange. So using the Binance data algorithm here on the chart. Guys, now Elrond has been a great performer this year. I couldn't believe it actually. I think it was around the beginning of the year or December. I think I was picking up most of my EGLD around that sort of $24, $25 mark. So we've had some fantastic gains since then. I haven't been trading it. I've been holding it in staking for some time. I have actually, though, in the last couple of weeks, I think maybe 10 days ago now, so I think I've got a few more days left before I can take it out, but I've released it from its old legacy delegation, and I'm just debating in my head whether I put it into the staking mechanism or if I might start bringing some of it into the exchange. So why am I doing that? Well, I think like over the next couple of months, I think we will start pushing that previous all-time high for sure of that $300. I do still anticipate that throughout this whole entire run, perhaps even going into February now, potentially, we will still get to around that $700 mark, in my opinion. And that would be phenomenal. I'd be very happy with that, especially if I was buying them at 25 odd dollars. So there's a lot of movement here, but for those that I saw some random comments on social media the other day, like saying that EGLD was just like not doing anything. I was like, well, you can't expect it to do things all the time. But I just want to bring out this point, guys. From this point down here, which I think was the 22nd of June, we had a price point, a low price point here, $53. That's pretty much double my money from the first time I invested. And yes, of course, I could have massively taken advantage of these take ups here at $200, but I just didn't. It was in staking. That's my decision. But look at this, 479% growth up to this recent higher point of well, actually the all-time high, to be honest, of 303. Now that is moving. Okay, that is movement, guys. So I don't know what people are going on about in that anticipation. Along the way, we've had some interesting movements. We've hit some areas that we analyzed, and as we saw that take in, and then we take the takeoff here back in August, so we were pleased to have got that. We had the level of interest here. We saw the dip. It's so bizarre. We got this really well analyzed, this chart, which is great to see from ourselves. But yeah, of course, since then we haven't done a gigantic amount of updates, but I'm going to try and do this every few days, hopefully at least, or certainly at least once a week at the moment. Got loads of videos to be getting through. We've actually recently hit our buy button on here, so we had an accumulation of some USDT that I bought in from another project, and I thought, you know what, EGLD I think has still got a lot of gains opportunity in the next few months, and I wanted to top it up to get it to a rounder number as well. So that was nice to see that come into play. So where we right now, guys? Well, we're still in a bearish momentum according to the MACD here, and that's kind of because of this sort of movement aspect here. So sort of we tailed on. Sorry, from the beginning, like August here on the 3rd of October, we have tried across this period of time to try and beat these previous lines around this 260 mark. It's not been very successful. So we're trying to find this new support mechanism. And I just want to reiterate what I do on all other charts as well, is all trying to find some areas of interest in terms of support and resistance. Now, in historic data, there isn't a gigantic amount of touch points even around these areas. So we're kind of still, in my opinion, floating around unearthed territory, essentially, in the sense that yes, we've had the all-time high and previous drops and everything like this. And the positives I can take out of this, I'm just going to draw this in so you can see. Well, actually, to be fair, we can keep this. I don't want to draw too many lines to confuse everything, but we had this channel funnel that we drew ages ago. And you can see the momentum that we're trying to keep towards this kind of nice little middle trend line here, and we're floating just about below that. So I think these next few days, or certainly into this week coming, it's going to be really interesting that we need to start like having this confirmed as a mechanism of support, which I think is quite achievable. If you look at these touch points previously, these are obviously resistance at one point, and if I just drag that line all the way across, no, it's not massively accurate, but you can see now clearly that this is a really interesting resistance area still. Okay, we tried to attack it twice. We've gone over here, kind of rejected over a few days period. We tried on numerous occasions to keep ourselves above this line. It's almost like trying to keep above water, right? You're stuck in the middle of the ocean. We're kind of bobbing up and down here, and we need to try and get some stability, some strength, some last bits of strength to keep us afloat, so that when that boat comes to save us and takes us to the island of prosperity. I quite like that analogy. Let us know if you like that. in the comments below. I thought it was quite cool actually off the top of my head. But yeah, we're looking at this area here. So right now, guys, you see a few touch points down here that we've seen arguably around the sort of 10th, 11th, drop down the 12th, 13th, even around these areas here at the beginning of October. This between these lines here of 237 and 247 are of great interest. Now we need to get some more stability here. You can see the selling off hasn't been very reactive in my opinion. I think we had this great intake here. We've had the corrections and they have been very healthy. If you look, very nice trend lines occurring, very nice healthy growth. It's not any volatility or anything like that. Really healthy looking. So what I'm seeing here is a nice tail off. Of course, we're bang on in the middle in the RSI, so we're still in this limbo moment. That's why I'm saying this area is great interest, because if we don't have some momentum of confidence pushing in, we're just going to stick around here. And I think there's enough volume in this project, there's enough investment in this project for it to not drop down significantly. It could arguably come back down to test this area again, around this sort of 232, maybe down to 225 area. That is just definitely a possibility when we're stuck in this limbo moment. So what I'm suggesting is this week is going to be quite critical to see where we go. Can we get a push up to this 246, and can we get stability here and then push ourselves up? So I think this is the next area of interest in my opinion. I'm going to put this in the title arguably, like 247 is our target, the next target that we need to try and achieve as a support mechanism to push ourselves up to that 260 and gain some momentum into November. But right now, yeah, it's stuck. It's stuck in a float. So when people are saying like, oh, should I invest in EGLD? Like now I'm new to it. Of course, you can always, with any chart, say, oh yeah, I wish I've got some back here. I wish I knew about that. Well, you haven't. So it's not the end of the world. There's still potential massive gains in this project, in my opinion, over the next few months for EGLD. Some people always look at things as well, like, oh, I need to buy one EGLD. I need to have a whole one. You don't always have to do that. Like, use it as almost like the dollar cost averaging kind of aspect. Like, you don't have to hold a whole one. You can hold half of one or a part of one. It's like Bitcoin. There's not a massive amount of people that hold actual Bitcoins. They hold Satoshis, but they still make great gains off them. It's all about the principle of how much you're gaining with your money. So don't focus too much on the price point and go, oh, that's very expensive. You utilize that tokenomics aspect of like, okay, even if you're putting like $10 or $50, it's not financial advice obviously, but $10 or $50, and then you look at the potential gains. If we're thinking it's like $600-700 potentially, yeah, that's a great achievement to attain. Obviously, you have to kind of recalculate in your mind like that $10 equivalent in a ratio format, but you get my point. So I mean, there's plenty of room for movement with EGLD. I'm sure we'll get some resistance around this $300 mark again when we eventually get there, but I'm loving this stepping stone approach. And there is an argument to be suggesting that we could be way back up here again, maybe even in that sort of second week of November, possibly, or around sort of beginning part of November, we could be pushing these previous all-time highs again. Really looking forward to this one, guys, but I thought I'd do a quick update and put some minds at ease as well in terms of like, is this too late to jump in? I don't think it is. I think it's just a question of and analysing your perception of how much gain you're trying to achieve, and also what is the project of Elrond. Elrond is phenomenal blockchain. The speed, efficiency of it is incredible. Great partnerships. It's going places for sure. I can imagine. I say $600-700. I think back in the early part of the year, there's a lot of talk, like even from like BitBoy and stuff, about $1,000 minimum and all this stuff. And that is possible. That is definitely possible. As adoption continues. But I think in the short term, it's a great opportunity, and in the long run, this thing's going to be way beyond $1,000. No doubt in my mind. Of course, you're looking at maybe potentially like $5,000-10,000 in arguably possibly the next run, maybe in a few years' time, or certainly in 5 to 10 years' time. That is definitely achievable in my opinion. And my goodness, what a great journey this would have been to watch and be a part of. But guys, let us know in the comments below if you're holding EGLD. Like I said, we'll try and do more updates on this. I'll update a video maybe by Tuesday, Wednesday this week, see what kind of movements. I'm really anticipating doing some analysis on this move here. I've said it's critical. I think it really is. It's very much floating around, trying to decide, are we coming back to find lower support mechanism, confirm it, or we're utilising this area that is currently floating around 240 as a new support mechanism and push for that 247. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Are you holding EGLD? Are you staking, delegating? What are you doing? I'm pulling some back into the exchange. I'm getting ready. I feel it. I'm getting ready for some good moves in the coming months that I want to take advantage of. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next EGLD update video. Bye bye.